Evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, how you doing? Good evening.
Okay, we are live.
We're having trouble hearing you, Jason.
Gosh, how's this? Any better?
Yes.
Okay. We'll call the meeting to order, 6:33. Welcome, everybody. And it's called to order with a roll call. Vice Chair Sandy Richards.
Actually, Chair Hayes, I think I can go ahead and do the roll call.
Sorry.
Is that okay? That's okay, no problem. And let's begin with Chair Jason Hayes. Commissioner Nina Herrera.
Present.
Commissioner Joe Ponce.
Present.
And let the record show that Vice Chair Sandy Richards and Commissioner Sadie Navarro are absent.
Hey, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance. Linda, do you have a flag for us?
I certainly do.
Fantastic. Please follow along and say it.
Ready.
Ready, begin.
To the allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to
To the republic, which it stands,
and
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If I may say, I think we're having some issues with the voice quality today. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Jason's cutting in a little.
Yeah, Jason is really coming in really, I can.
All right, let's try. Is this any better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
We'll try that and see. In that case, we'll move on. And for approval of the agenda this evening, we have a.
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
All right, to Ms. Linda, do we need to take a yay or nay vote, or do we need to roll call it?
we do a roll call vote. Chair Jason Hayes,
Yes.
Commissioner Nina Herrera,
Yes.
Commissioner Joe Ponce,
Yes.
and Commissioner Sadie Navarro, and Vice Chair Sandy Richards are absent.
Okay, very good. Decorum and ordered, but do we have any public statements?
We do not have any public statements tonight.
And moving on to our cultural arts liaison report, and we have our one of our cultural liaisons here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So due to the fact that I'm not really familiar with the structure as to how and when to present certain information through the city, I just want to see if I could also get some clarification of this protocol, because I do want to address certain things that that I presented as cultural arts liaison in reference to the mural proposal, and I don't want it to be done now, or it should be done afterwards. So I do want to be able to discuss cultural relevance of the symbolism of the mural. But at the same time, I know that this is a topic that we might be presenting in the ad hoc committee. So could I quickly get, where do I bring up my issues?
Sure. This section of the cultural arts liaisons reports is a spot if you or the other cultural liaison had a project or had an idea or had something report regarding cultural in the city. Something's going on that you want to report or bring to the attention to the commission. Now, when we discuss the mural application, that's when you could discuss any concerns you might have or any ideas you have regarding that particular topic. What's going to happen when we get to that particular item is Gerardo will make a presentation, and then the ad hoc committee will have an opportunity to make comments, and then the item will come before the commission for a vote. So you can make that, that's how that process works. But in this particular section right now, if you have anything else that you want to bring up regarding cultural importance, this is a good place to bring it up.
Okay. So in that, okay, thank you for the clarification, Julian. So in that sense, in behalf of the, again, part of the Mesoamerican ball game, right now we are currently looking at trying to figure out how we're going to commemorate another year, another anniversary as a ball game association delegation. In addition to that, we're also looking at conducting a collaboration with native pre-Columbian musician artists using native and wooden instruments. And we would like to see if how we can also collaborate cultural spaces within the city of San Fernando to play the ball game, and then have ball players playing, but at the same time having native music played live, and then also making it an educational component. But the goal would be to also collaborate with, or if not inquire, spaces that would be available and approved by the city for us to be able to play the ball game. The idea is to kind of show that this is a native sport that is still being played today, and it's not just in the mountains. It's not, but it's urban, because this was an urban sport, and it would be ideal to try to see if we can locate some spaces where we could play in quote unquote a public space, but yet something that would be obviously safe, something that would be could still be used while making the music. And so the idea is to kind of show that the native cultures are not something of the past, but they're still alive. They're still a big part of our cultural relevance. It's still, it has not perished, right? So we want to be able to play this game. And this is something that, we're looking at commemorating, whether if it's not kicking off the project for our 1-year anniversary, but also because as part of Ahupeme USA, which is the entire national and international association, we've been asked and to see if we can host the first international Mesoamerican ball game tournament, where we would invite Belize, we would invite different Central American countries and Mexican players to come and play in the United States. But out of the work that the state delegation of California is doing, we've been asked to see if we can kick off that project, and that established from San Fernando. So these are things that are in progress and in trying to continue to expand the sport, expand the awareness, and at the same time, when they just recently promoted, and they did not say the delegation of they didn't say the delegation of California. They said the delegation of San Fernando, and that's because that's the cool thing, that the city of San Fernando is being recognized in Mexico. It's recognized in Belize. So that's the cool thing about that. This is, again, an ancient sport that many people in many countries, and now like I said, it's international. So now we have people and delegations in Europe as well. So the idea would also be to invite those international. But if we were to do something like that, I would have to, this is something, a bigger project. But I really want to be able to share, because the Mesoamerican ball game is something that started off with, wouldn't it be a really nice idea to bring this sport back and have it here, to now we have international attention through Telemundo, Univision, and the Despierta America coverage that we got, right? And then we got showcased for 2 years in a row for the Mexican Independence Day parade, and for the Mundo Maya event, and people know it's San Fernando. It's not just California, but it's San Fernando. So in that sense, I think that's where we're kind of at, and also reference to Aztec dancing. I think that I would need to also collaborate and find out how we can maybe potentially reinitiate practices, because it's been over a year, and we need to kind of figure out how we're going to bring certain things back in a way that would be done appropriate through the city as well. So things like that, I know that a lot of projects have gone on hiatus due to the COVID situation, but the goal is to reignite these projects when the time is right, and it done safely in a way that it is appropriate, since it is sharing space.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff there. So my first suggestion is that the item regarding finding a place to play it should be agendized in the commission, so they could start discussing the process of what are the needs of the Mesoamerican Ball Game Association, and looking at, are you looking for public land? Are you looking for private land? All that should, first we could agendize that particular item. Then in regards to hosting a game, that could be another item that could be agendized, start talking about it. What is the exact ask for the city with that? What is the association really requesting? What's the ask actually? So we could start looking at what the resources the city has that could go towards this particular hosting of the games to go forward. So those are two items that could be agendized, so that we could start talking about that.
And could we add on to that same agenda? I know that there was a time period I was absent for a while, but in reference to the ball court, and I know that there was a proposal that, and again, and if we can kind of maybe even find a way to kind of make that as like an opening event, in relation, if that was to happen.
So when you're asking about the ball court, are you talking about constructing a permanent place? Okay, is that different from finding a location to play?
Oh yeah, that's different.
Okay,
but in
So-
reference to the international tournaments.
okay. So in regards to, definitely we could agendize trying the third item, talking about trying to build a court in the city, okay, and finding location, and then looking for funding, and seeing how that particular possibly could move forward. But that would be a whole different an item that you can start talking about it. So you as a liaison, cultural liaison, could add that to the agenda. So you could say, you would like to move that these items be agendized, and then the commission starts talking about them.
Okay, so in that reference, I would like to move these items, into the agenda,
Okay.
and again, please excuse I don't understand the way that the.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Well, again, if there's again, certain procedures and way that I got to do it, give me a 101 class through a Zoom class really quickly, so I guarantee you I'll be on point. But I just don't want to sound silly, and I really don't know how to present the information,
Sure.
in a way that is applicable to the city.
You could definitely do it at this meeting to put something on the agenda, but you could always send Linda on an agenda item that you would like on the agenda to discuss at the next meeting.
Okay.
You could do it as well as any commissioner could do as well. If there's they want something to be discussed, they could send that to Linda. Linda would put it on the agenda and then we discuss it. But it could also be done at this meeting, just letting the commission know, hey, next month I would like to put this on just so we could start discussing it. Okay.
So I thank you for the explanation as to how that goes. So
Okay.
I think I don't know if I need to do both, but again, I would like to be able to present and itemize those things into the agenda for next month.
Okay, so just to recap, there's 3 items that you would like to discuss. One is to find a temporary playing place so you could host games and play games. The second one is to start talking about possibly hosting an international tournament.
Right.
Okay, and then the third one is to look at the possibility of constructing a permanent Mesoamerican court.
Correct.
Okay.
And then I have some images that I've been collecting from
Okay.
international, so that way it could be cost efficient.
Okay. All righty. Sure. Okay. So we would put that in the agenda for next month, so we could start discussing.
I very much appreciate that.
Okay.
Great, thank you, Mr. Herrera. Our consent calendar, request to approve the minutes. Commissioners, have you had a chance to look over the minutes from April 13th? Are there any questions or comments at this time regarding it? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
I put a motion in to accept the minutes.
I second.
All right. Roll call or a yay or nay?
Roll call vote.
Right.
Chair Jason Hayes,
Yay.
Commissioner Nina Herrera,
Yes.
Commissioner Joe Ponce,
Yay.
and let the record show that Vice Chair Sandy Richards and Commissioner Sadie Navarro are absent. Thank you.
Thank you. Our administrative reports. Consideration to approve the art mural. This is our discussion about it exactly. I don't know who'd like to go first. I know Mr. Herrera has some wonderful concerns brought to our attention, and I'd love to make sure he has the time to share those. And Julian.
Yes, but before he does, I would like to invite Gerardo, excuse me, Marquez to make a presentation to the full commission before the ad hoc has their comments. Linda, would you allow Gerardo to share, please?
I think that should work.
Okay.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, Chair, Commissioners, and members of the audience. My name is Gerardo Marquez. I am the Associate Planner for the City of San Fernando. And I'm very excited, right? This is our first art mural application. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Subject site is 465 South Brand with the project number 2021-070. I'll go ahead and start off with a little bit of background. City of San Fernando originally did not allow for any type of painted signage or any type of art or murals in the past. They were considered painted signs, which were explicitly prohibited by the municipal code. November of last year, City Council went ahead and adopted a resolution to establish, the mural process, which effectively allowed for these murals to go ahead and be put up specifically on commercial areas and along residential areas, obviously only on areas that back up to alleys. January 2021, your commission went ahead and put together the ad hoc committee to review applications before they are presented to the commission. We did have as was previously mentioned, we did have a meeting last week, which was very, very good discussion on this topic. A little bit of project details. As I mentioned, the subject site is located at 465 South Brand. Project's approximately 1,200 square feet, the mural size, 100 by 12. It would be painted along a building which faces a parking lot on the corner of Hollister and South Brand. And having discussions with the Mr. Venegas, Director Venegas, and city manager, as well as council, we went ahead and, the art mural procedure allows for a fee waiver if it does demonstrate an educational component, which is outlined in the application that was provided to you. You can see here an aerial view of the project site. Project site is located on the orientate brand as going north and south. So I will call this the northwest corner of Brand and Hollister, South Brand and Hollister. A little bit of my, background, right? I always like to include zoning, showing that project site is within the C1 limited commercial zone, which would automatically qualify if, and allow for it to have a mural put on this site. Here's a view of the project site. This is how it's currently painted. As you can see, it's a blank white canvas, and it's ready. A little bit of background. Last year, the artist, it was actually right before this mural process was established, the artist went ahead and they actually put up the mural before getting any approval, right? So staff reached out to them and let them know, hey, we're in the process of establishing a mural. And then, for some reason or another, the property owner went ahead and, contacted them and asked them to take it down. And us staff working with the applicants and the property owners, we went ahead and got them all together, and, we showed them the right way to go about this process. So this is actual rendering of what was there before. They are planning to putting the same type of mural up again. As you can see, there's a hummingbird with I believe it's called a columbine flower. And there's another rendering. As you can see, it will extend all the way to the end of that building. That's pretty significant. Definitely one of the takeaways from this is that, South Brand, from this is from my planning point of view, right? South Brand is more or less the, one of the probably the most iconic gateway into the city, right? You have tree-lined boulevard, and, it's aesthetically pleasing to come into the city. And you look to the left and you see this big mural, right? Which, who doesn't like hummingbirds, right? I always see them flying around, and, they're always very interesting to see. So additional housekeeping that we did, there are noticing requirements, and the noticing requirements ask for staff to post on site 10 days prior to the scheduled public meeting. And the posting was completed on April 29th. So we did meet that 10-day period. Oh, sorry, just to go back a little bit. We did not receive any type of feedback, or nobody from the community contacted staff or had any questions regarding the mural. So some project findings, the surrounding uses and general plan goals. So one of the goals in our general plan, which is more or less outlines the goals and the vision for the city, is that within our commercial areas, we want to make sure that it is, not only accessible for, to be able to walk the streets, right? But it is also, how would I put this? It's aesthetically pleasing. It's more inviting to walk on our streets, and our general plan does call out for that. As I mentioned before, this project site does face South Brand, which is one of the more prominent entrances into the city. And as I mentioned before, it creates pedestrian-oriented streetscapes, promotes economic viability of commercial areas by, sprucing up these sites and not just having a blank white canvas on the side of buildings. It retains small town character of San Fernando, right? So it shows that there is an investment into the community, that there is that intention to beautify our city and our neighborhoods. And last but not least, it maintains an identity that is distinct from neighboring cities, right? I've driven around the city and, I don't see many murals, right? So I think that this is a very good kickoff project for the city. I'm definitely hoping to come across more and, present them to the commission. With that said, that concludes staff's presentations, and I am available for any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Gerardo. Are we then open to comments from our commissioners and our cultural liaison, or those that were on the ad hoc committee? How shall we proceed with that? And would you, Gerardo, if you'll stop sharing so we can all see one another. And if we...
Before the actual comments from the ad hoc or from the other commissioners, is that we want to emphasize that we did have a 10-day notice posted, letting people know that if they had any concerns regarding the mural being put up, that they could contact Gerardo to voice any concerns. Then also, this is a public meeting addressing the topic of erecting this mural. Linda, do we have any comments from YouTube or any means addressing this particular issue?
We do not have any comments.
Okay. That being said, now Commissioner Hayes, you could call upon the ad hoc and commissioners to discuss this particular item.
Okay, great. And then we'll start with our ad hoc. And Raul, I'd love to hear from you. And then we'll, Commissioner Ponce is on the ad hoc as well as myself. And then Commissioner Herrera, if that's okay, we'll go to you after that. We'll listen to the ad hoc and talk about our discussion and then come to you. Is that okay? Cool. So Raul, if you would, go ahead and share your thoughts.
All right, ladies. I really want to make sure that that I'm going to try to be as precise as possible, because I'm looking at this not only as the cultural arts liaison, but also my field of study as a college professor. I teach ethnic studies. I teach Chicano and Chicana studies. I teach, aspects of U.S. history. And so in looking at the mural in itself, I'm also looking at not just the symbolism. I agree with Gerardo. Our community needs beautification and needs murals. But the reason why we drive around San Fernando, it's because, again, these laws prevented murals from happening in the first place. That's why, many of us who were artists and artivists went out and started painting murals in Pacoima, because Pacoima opened those gateways and allowed those walls and spaces for artists to work collectively. And those that were beginning artists learned and painted alongside the larger name artists that had more credibility. Now, I'm going to be very critical about the symbolism and the imagery that is there. And so one of the key concerns that I had is also the aesthetics and the fact that the hummingbird has its back against the street. I studied Siqueiros and Siqueiros' theory of public art muralism. And part of it is the mural there has to be an interaction. It has to be interactive. When muralism is just an art piece or an image on a wall, it's popular art. It's pop art. And so the city of San Fernando has 2 murals that are majestic alongside the San Fernando Valley entrance, right? We have the one by Levi. We have the other one that is dedicated in homage to Cesar Chavez. Now, what is the quality of art that we want to see in San Fernando? What is the quality? What standard have we placed as to what kind of art we want to see in San Fernando? Because if anybody can submit a proposal, and yet maybe there's got to be a designated space where murals could be placed up there for so many years, and then a new artist comes in and does it. But primary entrances need to have art that is more than just pop art. It has to be something that it's going to have cultural and symbolic significance. And the imagery itself of this particular mural, it's not about the hummingbird. It's not just about the fact that there's a lot of empty space within the mural, and it's a humongous wall. And there's a wall is to an artist is like a history almanac. It's a book of pictographs, like the way our ancestors wrote these amoshlis, these codices. And so I want us to be able to understand, when I look at murals, I look at the symbolism and the meaning and the names. The names are very significant. Even though the flower, the columbine flower, who is it named after? What does it mean in Latin? And so these are things that many of us are not really taking into consideration, is the meaning of the name Columbine. Who is it named after? The city of San Fernando struggled and advocated to eliminate Columbus Day. And we have Indigenous Peoples Day. And to have a flower that has a name that is in tribute to Columbus, right, is something that we need to be aware and conscious of that. It could be any native plant, but looking at a flower that is, again, has anything to connect it to Columbus, and that particular flower in particular is Colorado's, okay? It's Columbine, Colorado's, state flower. That plant is, or rather that flower is seen throughout the United States. Yeah, it's native to California, but what is native to California? What is particularly native to San Fernando Valley? And that's something that we need to be able to see as cultural art liaison and part of the ad hoc committee. I'm very adamant about, we need to make sure that these images and symbols and the artists that come in and at least make proposals of putting up art in our communities, that they need to understand and do some research about the city of San Fernando, its community and its residents, and the struggles, the things that the Tavium have actually advocated to eliminate. Columbus Day is literally a landmark thing throughout the entire state of California. And for LA County, again, San Fernando has always been at the forefront of advocating key issues, right? It also, and again, even though the name Columbus derives and it means dove, okay? Columbia, right? Columbine, all of these names, Colon, colonization, colonialism, colonist, all of them are related to Columbus. So I want us to really deconstruct and look at the meaning of this Latin word and what that image would have an impact to the people and the residents and the native people of the San Fernando Valley, right? On what they've done to eliminate Columbus. Again, I'm all for art. I'm all for having accurate representations of our community that are going to empower, because that's what public art was supposed to be. That's one thing. If you ever go to Olvera Street and you see America Tropical, that's one of the key murals that changed muralism forever. If any artist has ever painted a mural outside of a building, that's because of David Alfaro Siqueiros. And if we're going to put public art, have the city of San Fernando stand out like certain aspects of San Francisco, like Barrio Logan, right? El Chicano Park, where murals are going to really have like it becomes a historical landmark. Do we want murals and art that is going to look pretty and nice, or is it something that is going to say like, whoa, that's a community landmark? That's something that when you come through San Fernando, you know what that you're in San Fernando. Just like when you exit San Fernando Road and you see that ginormous mural along the railroad tracks, that's a landmark. As soon as you pass the entrance of San Fernando and you see the Cesar Chavez, that's a landmark. And when we go up north or south down Brand Boulevard, that needs to be a landmark because it is that much of an open space and canvas. It's too much of a canvas just to let it be, you know, whatever it is right now. So I have been able to reach out to the Tatavium, you know, and they also raise concerns. And so, and there are other images and other artists that have used hummingbirds. And just because it's a hummingbird, it doesn't mean that you've seen a lot of hummingbirds, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. You've never seen that hummingbird in the San Fernando Valley because the hummingbirds in San Fernando Valley aren't that color. They're brown. They got white chest and they got a burgundy, puffy chest. Those are the ones we see in the San Fernando Valley. So if we're gonna see something like that, that is an amazing. I'm all for the Huitzilopochtli, the Huitzilin, right? That's a Nahuatl word. That the hummingbird is a part of our story of the sun in Mesoamerican mythology. I'm all for the hummingbird, but we need to look at the historical, the cultural, and the symbolism, what is known as semiotics, and not have a mural that is going to portray a flower that is going to represent what the city of San Fernando has said. We don't want Columbus Day. That's why we got rid of it. So that's what I needed to say.
Great, thank you, Raul. Appreciate that. Commissioner Ponce, thoughts?
Sort of put me in a spot here. Thanks, Jason. You know, I've thought of it since we had the meeting earlier in the week. I agree to disagree. I mean, it is a big space. I do understand the conversation. It is a big space. I think just having a bird there with the flower in that, I think we could probably do more. But I think the concern that I have is, you know, we had that mural up for, how long did we have that mural up? It was up for a while. I don't think we received any complaints on it or anything like that. And even putting it out to the community, I don't think we got any feedback, I mean, of disappointment or agreement that it was something that they liked. So I'm not sure, at this point in time, I'm not sure what we could put there. I know it has to do with something that reflects the city of San Fernando. I think at this time, I just got to see if there's anything else that we can put there, because it is a large canvas. It is a large space, and it just seems like a big ocean out there with a flower out there and a bird. And I agree, the hummingbirds are not blue. So I don't know, that was just to give it some pizzazz there, that, you know, nice bright blue, but I think I would have to agree that it is a large canvas, but I don't know what we can put there. I don't have any suggestions, just that it's whatever we do, it has to be something that reflects the city of San Fernando.
I'm going to ask Commissioner Herrera if you'd like to make any comments, any thoughts.
This is kind of past when we get the mural, but if say it was defaced, who pays for it? Is it the city or the people that did the mural? And I'm sorry. And then say we don't approve one mural, do they give us another? Does someone else give us options? I mean, I don't know.
Okay. So your first question, with regards to if somebody does deface a mural, the responsibility falls on the property owner or the artist. It's a part of the application. It's a condition of approval that they both have to sign. With regards to your second question, there are no, other murals in the queue for this site, so we would not. Just also want to make sure that the application, we are talking about cultural significance and all that information that we want to go ahead and incorporate. The application actually does not call out for that, cultural significance or anything. But if that's something that the commission would want to add for the future projects, whatever they, aside from whatever decision they make tonight on this one, that would fall. I would have to defer to Mr. Venegas on how that procedure would come. The application actually does say content neutral basis, so I'm not sure how that would tie in with what has already been approved by City Council. Just want to make sure that put that out there for Mr. Venegas' consideration and the commission's.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna share some facts and a little opinion. The facts that Mr. Herrera brought up are what they are, right? The flower was not named after Columbus, but it takes its name that has the same root. Columbus was named for the Latin meaning dove. So it doesn't matter if it was named for him or not, it's still the same name. So that's of cultural significance specifically to our community. The original Latin name meaning eagle, aguililla, was bypassed years ago, and that's not what it's known for now. So we've got to reckon with that. The hummingbird, honestly, knowing the hummingbirds were not that color, I kind of took it as that iridescence. The hummingbirds are all colors all the time. I didn't have a problem aesthetically with that. And aesthetically, personally, I'm not bothered by the mural. I like it to my taste. That's just an opinion. I would like to see us as a commission, because initially in the ad hoc, we did vote 2-1 to approve it to come to this meeting. And I think half the reason, and I don't want to speak for Joe or Raul, but half the reason I know I voted yes was to have this larger discussion in front of the community. My gut is, hey, I like it. It's nice to look at. I don't have a problem with that. But it's not up to me as much as it's up to our community and these other concerns that need to be brought up and discussed publicly. Personally, I would like to see us maybe deny this specific mural, go back. I like what you said, Gerardo, about putting into the application and beg forgiveness of those applicants to say, look, it's our first time out. We should have put this in the first time. Sorry, we didn't. We need to revamp this application so that it does have, because that's a very important element of what we want to see in San Fernando. And we've all expressed that want. Additionally, I would go back. I would like to see us as a commission go to the artist and say, we don't have a problem necessarily with you doing a mural there or even what you want to put there per se, but we would like a different flower for these reasons and state our reasons. And use some of the information you brought up, Raul, about the significance of the hummingbird facing the street and that not only is an aesthetic, but there's of cultural significance relating to the hummingbird and its meaning and why it needs to be that flow of motion. So I don't think anybody, I don't want to speak for anyone, but I get the feeling no one's necessarily against having a mural there at all, or even having a hummingbird and a flower with dandelions. But that specific flower, the direction of the hummingbird, and it's not just, and I want to be clear that our objection can't purely be aesthetic. Because if it's just whether you like it or you like it or you don't like it and you don't like it, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that's just opinion. but having a cultural significance to our city and being that, I love what you said, Raul, about being that landmark as you drive into the city and being that cultural, visual, aesthetic landmark that we have that makes it statement. Hi, welcome to San Fernando.
That's right.
And I love that. So I think personally, as we don't have a vote yet and we'll have to entertain a motion, I suppose, to do that, that's just my personal feeling on it. I would like to see them go back to the drawing board and come back with knowing that the importance of the cultural significance as a commission, as a whole. Julian, did you have something?
Yes, I have a couple of things to think. First of all, the ordinance that gives us the task to approve or disapprove a particular mural has no particular mention about cultural relevance of the mural. It does not state that is a requirement of a mural that must be put in there. Okay, I did give everybody the ordinance. It gives us a process of what our task is to base to approve the mural, but there's nothing in the ordinance stating that it has to have some cultural relevance.
Right.
Okay?
And you're right. And I think though that we need to go back and put that in there.
Okay. So second thing is that just based on this application, we cannot interject and say, well, we would like to see this, or we would like to say that. You need to look at the particular mural you have right now, whether you like it, and you say, yes, that's a good mural, let's go ahead and approve it, or you don't. Then you say, no, I don't approve the mural. It is a majority vote of the commission that will either approve it or deny the application. Okay, so based on that, a denial, if this commission denies this particular mural, the artist can appeal this decision and go directly to the city council for their input. And then the city council will make the final decision. Okay. So that would be the process for that. After the denial, there is nothing in the particular ordinance that states that we negotiate with the artist to revamp the mural to make it more culturally significant or make it more to our liking or not. It's just based on the merit of the mural as presented in the application.
I hear that, and I forgive me, I'm going to challenge that.
Okay.
And the reason I'm challenging that is I understand what's currently written and what's the way it's proposed, fine, and the process. But I also would like to, again, beg some forgiveness to say this is the first time we're trying the application process, and it's imperfect. And by just saying yes or no, I think we do the artist a disservice. I think we do the business owner and the community a disservice, because by saying just yes or no to something, we don't allow for conversation and input and reasons why, because this isn't about whether we like it or we don't like it. And I think it's about so much more. I think that's why the ad hoc was created and why we're bringing this discussion tonight. It's about so much more than just liking it or not liking it. And I think the artist deserves a reason why, because any self-respecting artist is going to probably go back and revamp things. I don't know. But I don't feel that it's as black and white as it's written. And that's not anything against you, Julian, at all. I understand that's the procedure, but I really would like us, whatever our vote is, I mean, maybe someone makes a motion and we vote, but whatever our vote is, that we discuss with them the reasons why. I mean, if it passes, it passes, and there's nothing else to do about it, it goes to city council. And if it isn't, and yeah, they have the right to appeal. But I just think making it as just cut and dried like that, I don't think gives enough credit to our community and the artist itself. And I think this has to be a collaboration. So for what it's worth, Joe, you had a comment?
Yeah, Chair Hayes, actually, I do agree with you. If this is how we're gonna deal with it, it's either a yes or a no. I don't want to see a blank wall, so I mean, I would normally would probably just say yes, but that is not the way I would like to see it. I would like to see something else or have it say, but it's pretty much black and white. I mean, if that's the way it stands, Julian, that it's either we want it there or we don't want it there, I got to disagree with that. I'm just not for that. I don't know if I could make a decision.
Well,
I mean, I do want to see something though. I don't want to see it just the way it is, but I don't think I can vote that way.
okay, Gerardo, is there anything in the application for any type of negotiation with the artist?
I mean, and I can only speak to how, I mean, this is my first time in your commission. From what I've seen happen in the past is that oftentimes an item is continued, right? And that would allow staff to go back with the applicant, you know, and discuss some of the points and see if there is some type of wiggle room to move forward in a different manner.
Okay.
So that I don't know if that's how the procedure here for your commission, but that is what we would do.
I think that,
Us to decide that process then, right?
right.
Excuse me?
It's kind of on us to decide that. To decide whether or not to go back to the artist and say, hey, can we talk about what we would like to see different without interrupting your artistic vision, but here's the reasons why it may not be approved. And I don't know if it will or not. Or can we entertain a motion to say no with the provision that we go to discuss with the artist? I mean, that can be our motion, and therefore then take that action as ad hoc to go to talk to the artist. I mean, we are breaking new ground here, right? This is the very first one.
Okay, so we could definitely continue the item, allowing the artist, we could make contact with the artist for some possible revisions. However, if the artist does not agree to any revisions, he could appeal it, okay? So what I think what you could do is continue the item to give us an opportunity to reach out to the artist and find out if there's any possibility to do the revisions. Okay, if he
Don't
did not,
move to vote today. We move to continue it to next month, and then
Right.
ad hoc with the artist.
right,
So make a motion to table it till next month?
Anybody second?
Before I second, if we put a motion to table it till next month, are we going to have conversations with the artist prior to that? Or are we just going to put a motion in and go through this again and
no, the ad hoc committee would reconvene, invite the
Okay.
artist to make suggestions if he wants to move with any recommendations that the ad hoc is making, and if he wants to revise and resubmit, then he could do that. Okay, the original application will change because the mural now is different if he decides to make those revisions.
understood?
Ms. Herrera, would you consider revising your motion to reference that we're tabling until the ad hoc has a chance to meet with the artist to discuss revisions?
Okay, I make a motion to table it till next month, as long as the ad hoc meets with the artist
Yeah.
And
to
I
talk
s-
about provisions. Sorry.
It's okay. And I second that.
Ms. Linda, will you please call our roll call vote?
Yes, Chair Jason Hayes. Commissioner Nina Herrera,
Yay.
Commissioner Joe Ponce,
Yay.
and Commissioner Sadie Navarro is absent, and Vice Chair Sandy Richards is absent.
Okay.
conversation and keeping this public and keeping the conversation going. I really appreciate it. And thank you to our liaison, Raul Herrera, for bringing all of the information to our attention for that discussion. Thank you so much for all that research. All right,
Thank you.
moving on to department program updates, our virtual programming.
Okay, let me just
Go
get
ahead and,
that particular.
well, I'm just gonna go ahead and I appreciate
Thank
you
you,
guys,
Gerardo.
and it was a pleasure presenting to you guys, and I'll look forward to working with you guys in the future.
Thank you, Gerardo. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now I'll go into virtual programming for the department's programs. Okay, like staff is continuing to engage our community with providing some virtual programming to make sure that our patrons are active and staying healthy. And as we move into the reopening the yellow chair, we're still doing virtual programming to allow that transition to come forward. So let me just go ahead and give a quick update regarding the ones that we're having at Las Palmas Park. We have the lunchtime trivia on the 5th of 7th of May, excuse me. We don't have the exact numbers yet. So we'll report those as soon as we get them. The Living Trust and Wills. I did get a update today, actually, regarding this particular event. We had 13 individuals to participate in the Living Trust and Will workshop. It provides information on how people could protect their assets through a living trust or a will. The plans are to continue this type of program at least biannually to provide this information out there. The May craft is going to be on the 13th of May, which will be this coming Friday. Our Park Loteria event on the 21st. Park Bingo is another good event. Will be on May the 26th. And Name That Movies, a trivia program, that will be on the 27th. Excuse me. All right. Let's see here. Oh, the Older American Month. This is May is declared. The City Council declared May as the Older American Month back in May the 3rd, and this honors the work and all the volunteer service that our senior community puts in. We are going to have a virtual honoree program on the 27th, and staff is selecting the honoree that will participate in that particular program. Our Mariachi Master Apprentice program has made a Mother's Day concert similar to the similar to the Christmas Lighting concert and their 20th anniversary concert. It's going to air on Thursday. It'll be up and ready, so I invite everybody to take a look at the MAP concert for Mother's Day. And in that particular program, we have around 7 youth participating in the program. We have 3 divisions. We have the Tesoro, which is the older division. I think it's, 13 to 20. And then we have Tesoritos, which is 11 to 12 or somewhere around there. Excuse me, I forget the ages. And then we have the tiny ones. I cannot pronounce the name, but they're the little ones. They're from 5 to around 8 years old. Linda, do you know the name of the very smallest group? I keep forgetting the name of the group.
I also forgot.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
For next time. So those are the virtual programs that we are doing for the month of May. In regards, and I'll just go on, Jason, okay? I'll go into the COVID response, the department's response to COVID-19. Our final food distribution was scheduled for the 15th. However, we did not get the boxes in time. We usually get the boxes from the same vendor who gives us the food, but they weren't able to get the boxes together. So it's just been pushed back a week. The distribution is going to be on the 22nd, and we have 137 families coming out to receive some food on that particular day. It's a very good program. So I don't have the exact numbers. I'll have the next report. I'll have the total numbers of how many people we served during the program, that how many people got food throughout the program, then also how many unique households we actually served. I'll provide that information by the next month. Staff did notice fewer families who had registered for the program. So on the May the 22nd, we are going to involve the round 1, round 6, and round 7 of the individuals who participate in the program to get that food on that particular day. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I have the latest numbers. I didn't see my notes back here. We have a total of 349 families who had registered for the program. And with this last distribution, we have served 627 households for this program that lasted 7 rounds. And then also the city also partners with the Los Angeles Food Bank to provide free food kits to seniors age 60 and over. We have it every Monday. We had one on May the 3rd, this past Monday. And this program is, again, in partnership with the Los Angeles Food Bank. You could call the Las Palmas Park at 818-898-7340 to get information on how you could register for this particular program. And it's currently a drive-through. So you come drive-through, get your food picked up, and then you go on your way. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the flu shots. We collaborate with several organizations, health partners. We partner with Providence Holy Cross to register anyone 60 and over right now to receive the COVID. We have reached out to 300 plus seniors and informed them of how they could get that vaccine. And anybody else who is interested in the shot and they want to go to Vaughn Magnet School could sign up and get that shot there. We also partner with the Los Angeles Fire Department at Recreation Park to provide vaccines. Right now, the site is open Tuesdays through Sunday from 9 to 5 p.m. And currently, this has been updated since this report was written. The fire department has plenty of vaccines available. You could make an appointment and get a shot, or you could go that day and just get in line. It takes a little longer, but you could get that shot that day. Any day, any Tuesday through Saturday, you show up, say you want the shot. You don't have to make an appointment, and they would, take all the information they need, give you a shot, and give you an appointment for the next round of shots. We partner with the Los Angeles Department of Public Health and to provide a curative health program as well, to provide a pop-up. We had one on April the 5th and April the 29th. We gave shots to 102 people, both both first and second vaccine have been given. Also on May the 14th, this Friday, we're going to have another pop-up with the LA County Department of Health and Elements Pharmacy. And walk-ups, again, are welcome for that particular shot. This shot is going to feature the Johnson & Johnson shot. So again, people just show up if they don't have to make an appointment. It takes a little longer, but they could just show up. Or if they want to make an appointment, they could call Las Palmas Park to make that appointment. Reopening efforts. The department As the situation changes, as the county moves into different tiers, we're able to open different activities and different programs.
Julian,
Yes.
sorry, can we just, I want to, because we've gone through two of those things. Can
Okay.
we check in with the commissioners and see if they have any
Sure.
questions or comments on those two? Because that was a lot. You guys are doing so much.
You know, you're
But,
right.
that's okay. Commissioner Herrera, any questions or comments?
No questions.
And Commissioner Ponce?
No questions.
Okay. Then I was wrong.
Okay.
Please continue.
I'll pause after this. Give the opportunity for questions.
That's all right. All right. Thanks.
Okay. The staff is preparing to, reopen the different activities that the department offers. We are currently hiring more recreation leaders. We lost the bulk of our part-time staff. They went on to different jobs because they weren't working with us, or they went back to school. So we are in the process of rebuilding our part-time workforce. Currently, we have 9 new rec leaders who will be joining us. They're going on through the background checks and the hiring process and all the process that needs to get hired. Our tennis courts, staff is preparing to introduce a pickleball activity at Pioneer Park. It is a similar game to tennis, but at a most slower pace. The activity will be held on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 3 and 5 p.m. and then again on Saturdays between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. There's no reservation required, but if you do want to let the staff at Recreation at Las Palmas Park know that you're interested in the program, they would put you down. We do have volunteer instructors that will help people learn the game. We have outdoor fitness program is part of the Healthy San Fernando campaign. We have a new 6-week session started May the 3rd. It's going to run through June the 10th. We'll have it on the weekends on June 10th, 14th, and the 19th. The class is going to feature 2 new classes, the yoga and cardio, salsa. The other scheduled workshops include Zumba, which will be held on Mondays at 5 p.m., total body conditioning on Mondays and Thursdays at 8 a.m., cardio salsa Tuesdays at 6 p.m., and yoga on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Anybody could register for the program. It is on our website, on our MyRec registration software, that they could register by going to the city's, the department's website, which is www.sfcity.org/SF recreation, and they could go to the link to register. We're springing into have the Family Wellness Challenge ended May 1st. We had a total of 63 families participate in the program. It ran over 5 weeks. It was free. And it, again, included yoga, Zumba, body conditioning, line dancing, Tai Chi, martial arts, painting, a pop-up Pilates, and cardio salsa. These were free activities to introduce the community to new activities, and hopefully it would spark some interest and they will join the regular sessions when they start. Let's see here. I have one, let's see here. Any questions regarding the particular programs that I mentioned so far?
No.
Okay.
I have one question. The parks, maybe I'll ask it later, but with regard to the reopening, you know what? I'll ask it in general comments. I don't think it's here. So I'll
Then for the summer, we're going to also start a youth sports clinics. We're going to have baseball, basketball, and soccer. These clinics are intended to spark interest in the sport. We're going to have a company come out and provide us the instructions. Like I said, we don't have the manpower right now to do it our own, so we are contracting with a company to provide the clinics, and we are targeting the younger age, so they could learn the skill. And so after the clinics, the hope is that they will join leagues that we will offer later on in the year. So we're very excited about these particular programs. So we are planning to, we do have a youth basketball league already. We are planning to start a youth baseball program. And we're also looking at starting a youth soccer program. So these are clinics to spark interest and then move on so they can move to actual league play later on. Our adult sports program, we're looking at when we'll start these. Currently, we are pulling our teams that we had in the past. It was the adult basketball, the co-ed men's softball, and the wood bat leagues. And we had the drop-in volleyball. So staff is reaching out to the contacts of these teams and seeing if they're interested in coming back. In the yellow tier, these particular sports are allowed with COVID protocols that we will definitely let the teams know that they need to follow, so that we're looking to start those leagues back again. Then again, we're looking at starting another new program in a partnership with the Roller Derby program, the Roller Derby Club of San Fernando Valley. They're interested in teaching roller skating and the sport of roller derby, and they're thinking about doing some type of clinics and classes to get people interested in that sport and then move forward. Also, we're looking at starting another class called Chiquitas. It's a dance group, and it we have the instructor. You guys might know her. Commissioners, you may know her. She is Lenny Montes. She was the owner of Danzon, and so she's interested into providing this activity for us. So we're excited to start talking about when that particular class will start. Our Veterans Recognition Program will be displaying 15 banners of our veterans. The display will be on McClay Avenue, and they will begin the week of May the 24th and end the week of November 15th. So we're printing the banners now, and we'll be putting them up, like I said, the week of May the 27th. Any particular questions regarding the programs I talked about?
I do have one question.
Yes.
Actually, a couple of questions.
Okay.
On the, I know that we're going to start opening up, but you mentioned something about Little League, and do we have any teams or any organizations that have come forth to trying to get into Little Leagues here, like when we used to have Santa Rosa? I know we don't have them anymore.
Okay. Right now, we currently have the San Fernando Little League playing. They play out of Pioneer Park. They also use Las Palmas and Recreation for their older divisions. So they are currently right now using all three parks, and they're an independent league. The youth baseball that I mentioned earlier is a city managed league that we want to to provide a youth baseball program at Las Palmas Park. So that is the intent of starting the youth baseball program at Las Palmas Park. So we will, but before we could do that, we wanted to spark the interest with the clinics.
Okay, thank you. That was it, Julie. Thank you so much.
Commissioner Herrera?
No questions.
I don't have any questions either. All right, Lane Park.
Okay, the Lane Park. We're going to have a second community outreach meeting on May. We had one on the 12th. It was a Zoom meeting that we advertised. We did a lot of outreach for this particular meeting, and we did mailers, we did door hangers, we did newspaper articles, letting the community know that these meetings were taking place. We had a Zoom meeting on the 12th. It was not as attended as we would like, but we did get some good input from the people who participated. Then tomorrow on May the 12th at 6 to 7:30 p.m., we're going to have another meeting, but this meeting will be live. It would be in person. We are following all the COVID protocols to maintain social distancing, wearing masks and so forth. So that meeting, we did more outreach. We actually did person-to-person contact from a list of people who expressed interest in the project. So we called them directly, let them know about the meeting, and invited them out, and to invite family members to come out to give us input on the community outreach for the design of the Lane Park. Our final meeting will be held on June 2nd, the same time, 6 to 7 p.m. And then that's when we will make the presentation of what the design will look for, and then take any input from the community. Any particular questions regarding the Lane Park revitalization project?
Commissioner Rivera,
No questions.
Commissioner Ponce,
No questions.
Youth Reinvestment Grant Program.
Okay, so the Puku Youth Empowerment Program is continuing. They are already in their fourth cohort of activities, and they focus on providing emotional wellness, mental wellness. They have cultural relevant arts and crafts projects, storytelling, and so forth. So they really focus on centering the youth around their culture, around the Tatavian tribe, to provide a grounding for individuals, for these young youth. They had a presentation by what's his name? Arthur Luis Rodriguez. He is the author of The Medicine Inside You, and they provided a workshop on that particular topic, and again, focusing on the well-being of the individual to move forward. The program is also goes out and into to nature to provide education, to provide stewardship. They went to the trip they just recently went to Malibu Lagoon Museum. They provided lunch, and they went through the grounds there and got a educational seminar at the location. The program is free. It is from 13 to 17 years old, living in the Northeast San Fernando Valley, and encourage anybody who is interested in participating in the program to register. And you could register at the Puku Tusink website, which is the www.puku.org/Tusink, that you could register for that particular program. That is the update on the programs and services and business that the Recreation and Community Services Department has done during the month of May.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
Any questions, comments from either of our other commissioners?
None here.
Okay.
None.
All right, great. Community theater programs on the agenda, and I know we haven't mentioned, but I would just like to I would like to ask you, Julian, if it's possible for us to reach out to those people that had shown interest and are looking to be a part of it. And I know there are a couple others that I've mentioned in previous meetings, that maybe we can meet in June.
Okay.
Not necessarily before our next meeting here, the end of school. I know, and you guys got a lot going on, especially still with not just the programs, but also the vaccine distribution, et cetera, et cetera. But if we could try to organize a meeting for June for all of us to get together to then report back to the commission in July, just to kind of get the wheels turning again.
Okay. Will
That's
do. I'll look out a date and send out the invitation.
Sounds great. We'll email.
One question, is there any particular day that you're not available?
After June 17th, any evening will do.
Okay, good.
Until June 17th, I'm probably not available.
Okay. Okay.
The end of school is
Yes, I understand that.
but I do know that the 16th is my last responsibility. Yeah, Raul knows exactly what I'm talking about. After the 16th, though, so starting the 17th, pick a day, I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you, Julian, for all of that. You and your team are always great, doing so much. Well, let's bring out the commissioner comments to begin to wrap us up here. Any last comments, Commissioner Herrera?
I have no comments.
Commissioner Ponce?
No comments here. Thank you.
And I'll wrap myself up with just, I want to thank the commission for the conversation around the mural. I know it's difficult to have conversations like that, and yet they're so important to a community. And I just want the commission to know how much I appreciate being a part of an organization, not afraid to talk about what needs to be talked about. And I just want to thank all of you for that open, honest, respectful conversation that we were all able to engage in. So thank you very much. Staff communications. Yeah, I'm sorry, Julian, did you have something else?
No, that's exactly what I was gonna.
All right,
staff communication. Close right away. So I just want to give Linda the opportunity if she wants.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Well,
thank you very much.
Good, that's protocols. Awesome. Miss Linda, please.
Okay, just a quick update. As Julian mentioned earlier today, we did offer a living trust and will virtual meeting, a workshop, and it was very interesting. It was offered by Elvira Ceballos, and she is an estate planning advisor. She's with Amera Estate Legal Plan Incorporated. She's a person that has done a lot of work with Las Palmas Park, and I know that she's assisted a lot of our seniors with their estate planning, so she's very reputable. And just, it was a really good turnout. I was happy that we had all those seniors attending. But I just wanted to mention that next month, in the month of June, we will be offering another workshop. It's virtual, and it's going to be in the month of June. We don't have a date secured yet, but it's going to be World Elder Abuse Awareness Day / month. So in recognition of that, that same estate planning advisor, Elvira Ceballos, will be discussing how to prevent financial and psychological abuse that occurs to many of our seniors. And these are situations that, working with seniors myself, I have heard a lot of very sad and difficult situations for seniors, sometimes even, by their own family members. So if you want to look out for that, we'll be providing more information on our website, or you can always call Las Palmas Park if you're interested in referring somebody to us. And that's the only thing I have today.
Thank you so much. I do remember though, one other question I wanted to ask with regard to reopening. Are we still slated for a Zoom commission meeting in June, July, August? Are we looking to open up for in-person meetings at any point?
Yes, we are. City Council is going to go back on May the 17th, and the thought is we could come back as early as June or July, however this particular body would like to do. So we could poll people right now, or maybe offline, to see if they would like to meet on come June or maybe July. Well, maybe June, July, definitely.
Thoughts, other commissioners?
I'm fine either way. Whatever you guys want to do.
I'm ready.
Okay.
This camera stuff is getting to me already.
I know, I hate
I have
it.
meetings every day with my team at work, and I'm just about done with the computer.
Okay.
Yep.
So then,
So I'm ready for in person.
okay. So then let's do our June meeting in person.
Okay.
Great. I need to, right now, I have a school commitment June
That's
15th.
right.
I need to put it out there right now. That doesn't mean don't have the meeting. By all means, our vice chair is more than capable of running a meeting, but June 15th, I'm gonna miss one. My first one I've missed. I'm a little nervous.
Okay.
But, I apologize.
Okay.
You know what? Are we able to vote on maybe changing the date of the meeting so he's here? Because I know the next meeting we're going to talk about the mural,
Okay.
and I don't want him to miss that.
Okay.
And
You
then-
could
And if I may, I won't be here until the 25th of June.
Okay, so there's, we could definitely table the talk about the mural until a specific date. So if both uh, Commissioner Hayes and Cultural Liaison Herrera are not going to be able to participate on that particular day, we could table it to the July meeting. But we could definitely have a meeting with reach out to the artists and seeing if
Yeah.
there's.
If we table it until July,
Mhm.
then that gives us a good 6 to 7 weeks to coordinate with the artist as an ad
Mhm.
hoc. You can still meet in June as a commission -1,
Yes.
but as far as we'd have to entertain another motion to postpone that discussion to July. But with regard to the mural,
Mhm.
but it does give us a little extra time. I don't know what the artist's schedule is. I don't even know where the artist is located. So,
Yes.
And we can do that, Chairperson. We can go ahead and table that next month if we have to. Because
Great.
I think that I agree with Commissioner Nina that I think we all have to be in this one. You have to be part of this as well.
that's great. Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate that. Thank you for considering me in that discussion. So might I entertain a motion before we adjourn to postpone the mural discussion to July, provided we speak with the artist between now and then?
Yes, I'll put a motion to postpone the conversation over the mural until July.
Second.
Roll call vote, please, Linda?
Okay. Chair Jason Hayes,
Yes.
Commissioner Nina Herrera,
Yes.
Commissioner Joe Ponce,
Yes.
and Vice Chair Sandy Richards and Commissioner Sadie Navarro are absent tonight.
Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Julian and Linda. Thank you, Raul. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned 8:01. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Thank you.
everybody. Have a good evening.
Great
Good
work.
night.
Bye.
Good night.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Okay, that was a good meeting.